Hey everybody, welcome to the public information webinar for plazas. My name is Carlos Hernandez. I am part of LADOT's Vision Zero division, and I'm also the program manager for People Street. Let's get started. So People Street is a citywide program that focuses on three project types: plazas, parklets, and bike corrals. These projects are below the curb, meaning not on sidewalks, not on public or private lots, and typically occupy spaces where vehicles or cars either drive or park. So that's the intent of People Street, is to take those spaces where cars park or drive and transform them into spaces for people. The program is based on partnerships, which is very important. It's an application-based process where communities essentially propose projects to LADOT, and in DOT, our job is really to streamline that process of installing plazas and of doing temporary street closures. So through this program, we're able to set up a one-stop shop at peoplestreet.lacity.org. But don't worry, just sit through this webinar and you'll know everything there is to know about getting ready to apply for plazas. We use quick and cost-effective materials to transform spaces for people to thrive in. We also have a pre-approved kit of parts, which has approved furnishings such as chairs, benches, tables, umbrellas that also complement the plazas. And part of using quick, cost-effective materials and temporary materials is to understand how the plaza functions, as it can catalyze a larger, more permanent plaza in the future if successful. So we also do a pre and post evaluation to determine the success of the plaza. Community partners are essential for developing a plaza, and some of the partners we've had in the past are listed here. As you can see, Business Improvement District, Chambers of Commerce, nonprofit organizations, and so on. And we're really looking for community partners that have the capacity, both staff capacity or volunteer base, and community partners that can harness liability insurance as well, which is one of the requirements. And there's a few other requirements which I'll talk about a little more detail. But community partners that can see a project through from design all the way to development. So like with any project partnership, there are shared responsibilities. As I mentioned, community partners responsible for liability insurance in case anything happens on the plaza. They're also responsible for the maintenance and upkeep. This is something that the community partner and applicant should be budgeting and thinking about, as well as programming. We find that just creating a plaza doesn't necessarily warrant or ensure that it's going to be active at all times. And part of the application requires you to identify the type of programming. For example, we've had Saturday morning Zumba, farmers markets, art walks, you name it. But the idea is to make sure that it's programmed year-round so that the plaza doesn't necessarily sit empty. LADOT's main responsibility is taking the application through a design development phase and ensuring we install the planters, bollards, signage, ground treatment, basically everything to ensure that this space remains a plaza for people and has limited access to vehicles. In terms of expenses, the costs vary. The community partner is responsible for the furnishings. That includes tables, chairs, umbrellas, exercise equipment, or whatever the applicant chooses to have on the plaza. Responsible for soils and plant materials. So DOT provides the planters, but the community partner is responsible for ensuring that the plants are alive, that they're watered, and that they're replaced whenever they die. And the community partner is also responsible for any maintenance of the plaza. So this includes maintenance for the furnishings. And those costs vary according to the amount of furnishings you have, the type of furnishings. We also have a pre-approved kit of parts, which I mentioned earlier, and that can be located on our website as well. So now I'll take you through a few of our existing plazas, and we'll start with the Sunset Triangle Plaza in Silver Lake. This is administered by the Silver Lake Improvement Association, And this was previously an underutilized street. The frontage for this street includes a small triangle wedge shaped park. On the other side, it's several small neighborhood retail businesses. So, through this process, the community was really interested in transforming this space, and now they host a farmers market every week. They have a farmers market on Tuesdays and Thursdays and have really made good use of this space. The NoHo Plaza took a slightly different approach. So they looked at an underutilized segment of alleyway and transformed that into a space where pedestrians, people meeting for coffee can gather, as well as a place to host their monthly art walks. The community partner here is the NoHo Business Improvement District, and their focus again was to really enliven this space with what we would consider an underutilized alleyway. The Lemur Village Plaza was different in that the community was already meeting here prior to the creation of the People Street Plaza. So they had gatherings every week, every month, and through the creation of People Street Plaza here, we're able to really formalize that street closure to ensure that the community partner didn't have to pull out um, block party permits or street closure permits every time they want to have an event. So part of this program ensures that anytime they want to have some festive gathering or community gathering, they can do so without having to pull additional permits. The goal for the Bradley Avenue Plaza was to increase open space, and this is this plaza is located in the neighborhood of Pacoima in the San Fernando Valley. The community partner here was Pacoima Beautiful, and they're an environmental justice organization that really focuses on the environment and increasing access to healthy green space. So this segment is wedged between Van Nuys Boulevard, which is a very busy thoroughfare, and an alleyway, and is also right next to public housing projects, the San Fernando Gardens. So this project was really a way to create that additional green space for community members. In terms of the actual application, there is some legwork, and part of my job, both on this webinar and in the past few weeks, has been to spread the word and to inform people on how to get ready to apply. So, all our materials are available online, and our application window is April 1st through May 31st. So, that's 2 months, which sounds like a long time, but there is some legwork to get ready to apply and create plazas. After we close that application window, the city conducts application review to assess for circulation and feasibility of the sites, as well as how prepared the community partners will be to see the project through, both through design development and through the first year of existence in our MOU. After we determine the applicants to move forward, we'll send a letter of determination and let the applicants know that they can begin their final application, which is really a follow-up of the initial application and a completion of that application package. So this is a flyer that's been circulating around. Definitely share it with community groups any organizations that were mentioned in the previous slides that are all eligible to apply for a People Street Plaza. Again, that window is April 2nd to May 31st, and you can find all the information you need to know at peoplestreet.lacity.org/plaza. So once you've identified a community organization that can be the applicant, the first step in getting ready to apply is really to check out some of our previously installed projects. So I showed you 4 plazas that we've installed in the city of LA. Feel free to drop by and get a sense of what we mean by underutilized street and orient yourself with the plaza and some of the elements in the plaza. Make sure to download the application manual, which has all this and more information, and that's available online in PDF form. Start thinking about sites. So underutilized sites is one of the terms that we use here at LADOT. And one helpful way to understand what underutilized street means is, if I were to remove this street, how would it severely impact circulation? And that's one of those questions that I use to ask myself if this is a good contender for a site. We also have a location criteria located in our application manual, so definitely check that out. And most importantly, run ideas by us. So you can email me directly, peoplestreet@lacity.org, and ask, I have a site in mind and a community partner in mind. Would you mind taking a look at it? And I can definitely give you feedback on it. I would much rather you run that idea by us here at People Street before you move forward with the project and build project excitement. But after you submit that idea to us and everything looks good, definitely start building community support. The application window is coming up, and there is a substantial amount of community support needed for an application. So here's a snapshot of our website. You can go to peoplestreet.lacity.org. Up on the top, apply for project, and the menu will open, get ready to apply. So click there, and it'll take you through all the steps to begin your application for a plaza. So here's a basic overview of the plaza application requirements. And some of these are pretty straightforward, such as the application form, which asks for your community organization name and your location. And some of these take a little bit longer to get. So proof of community outreach and proof of support, that will take a little bit more time. So make sure you give yourself enough time to get this. In terms of the site plan and the color scheme worksheet, I definitely encourage working with a design professional, either an architect or architecture student who can help you out with this piece of the application. We also require the proposed programming, again, so that these sites are activated and we can ensure that they're activated year-round, as well as a budget and a maintenance plan worksheet. The location criteria will be spelled out in detail in the application manual. It'll have everything on the size of the plaza, clearance, making sure there's access to driveways and side streets, circulation, parking zones, and public utilities. In terms of surrounding land uses, some of the more successful plazas have been in areas of commercial activity, so areas where there's small businesses that can ensure ongoing pedestrian activity. Community outreach and support is crucial for any project, and through this application process, we do require letters of support, one coming from your council office. We also require that the applicant presents the plaza application and the plaza idea at a neighborhood council meeting. But there's also optional documentation that you could submit as an applicant, such as petitions or going door to door and receiving signatures of support for creating a plaza in your neighborhood. So some helpful tips: make sure you request letters from your council district early, and make sure you are scheduled at a neighborhood council early enough. They do meet monthly. As I mentioned before, seek guidance and assistance from design professionals. They can be your best friend when filling out the site plan requirements. Again, the project team and the community partner is essential to the survival of both the application and the plaza in the long run. So make sure you form a solid team and secure the partnerships to cover costs and responsibilities. And share this information. So let your neighbors know about People Street projects, let them know about the project you're proposing, and definitely get that support that's required for submitting an application to build a plaza. When you're ready to actually submit the application, we have a few ways you can do it. You can go online, peoplestreet.lacity.org, and we have an online portal link where you can submit all those fields. You can email a PDF package to peoplestreet@lacity.org, or you can mail in a hard copy to us here at the City of LA Department of Transportation. So that's it. That was our very general overview on People Street Plazas. Again, the application window is coming up, so please do not hesitate to contact us at peoplestreet@lacity.org with any questions regarding the plaza application process, site selection, or the type of community partners that would be eligible to submit. Thank you again. My name is Carlos Hernandez, and I look forward to hearing from you. Take care.